Hi, everybody, and welcome to Faces in the Field. My name is Adam Darengowski. I work with the communications team here at Miller Pipeline. Faces in the Field is where we highlight the efforts of one of our teammates making it happen out on the job site today. That teammate is Javien Hamilton. He's a foreman out of Mississippi. Javien, thanks for coming on.
Man, I appreciate you for having me.
Well, first
Appreciate
of
you for
all,
having
yeah, I always like to get the origin story of people, how they got to Miller Pipeline. So can you kind of describe how you ended up working in this industry and specifically for Miller Pipeline?
anybody. Yes, sir. Pretty much my family, uncles, cousins, everybody pretty much did pipeline work around my way. I was kind of a late bloomer to it because of sports. I ended up playing collegiate ball and got, the opportunity to play, farther at the pros for a little while. And probably in 2022, when I came home from Canada, I played in well, went to Green Bay for a little while and then came home because of injuries and went to rehab and ended up going to Canada and played for 2 years, but dealing with and battling with injuries back and forth. I decided, I just wanted to go to work, and I knew all my uncles and cousins and stuff was in the industry. So I reached out to them in 2022, and I was able to, find a home at Miller Pipeline. Just, a green hand and coming in the door trying to learn and seek everything, and really having the mindset of not being complacent and wanting to, kind of work his way up. So I kind of came into it with a plan, learn all the groundwork and, learn how to run a job site, get the CDLs, learn local view and operating stuff like that. And just like any other job, you have challenges, and I just kind of stuck to the course, whether it was good or bad. I know you had some long days, you had some short days, some hard than others, but I just stuck to the plan, and man, I really enjoy being out here. I love the family and the culture we got here at Miller Pipeline. And really for me, playing sports all my life, not knowing what to do after the sports end. So I really found something I enjoy doing other than sports, and that's working at Miller Pipeline.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because my next question was what skills do you feel have translated and helped you from the football field playing SEC football into what you do now? Have you noticed certain things
Uh,
translate?
yeah, communicating, dealing with football, I dealt with a lot of different people, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, and coming into the field, me personally, I got different people from everywhere that's working at Miller. So my crew in particular, I just have to communicate with them, and I would say that's the biggest thing that I can bring is just the communication standpoint because, like I said, dealing with different people with different backgrounds, you can't come at everybody the same way. This person might not understand because they wasn't brought up like that. Or this person probably, can relate because they brought up like that. So that's one of the main things, and I think that's key to anything. Without communication, you really ain't got too much of nothing. And in our field of work, you have to have some type of communication because you're constantly moving, you're constantly dealing with, pretty much dangerous stuff every day. So you have to have that boundary of communication to bring to the team and just working with people. And I understand, I've been working my way up my whole life pretty much from the bottom and understanding that your team that you have, my guys, I've been in that situation before to where I didn't know anything about no pipeline or anything dealing with work. And just knowing that you used to be in that same situation and just have a better understanding of people. So I definitely think I bring communication and understanding of different people backgrounds.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring up communication too, because you were recently at Foreman Leadership Training in Indianapolis. I'm curious what that experience was like for you, and what were some of the things that you maybe took away from it that you can bring back home to Mississippi.
It was a good experience. I never knew we had our hand in a lot of stuff like we do because down south we don't have, I wouldn't say the biggest industry, but far as like I've met people from Ohio, Wisconsin, and different places like that. Um, I would say I brought from the leadership program a lot of people. like I said, just just communicating. Even though I think I do a good job of communicating, so just learning from those guys, man, it was amazing. And another thing that I did take from the former trainer was the the work that's being put in. Just looking at the background and the numbers and different things like that, having to where it takes to us to be able to run, in all these different areas. That was big for me, and be mindful of how what I do with my equipment and different things like that that they brought up, far as costly wise. That was big for me because it gets real down to the point with the numbers.
Yeah, you don't think about that, but like every little action you have has that bigger action,
Impact.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
I am curious, one of the things that we talk about in FLT is mental health and how we can all do better to support each other as a team. Um, how do you make it, or how will you make it a priority to have those conversations with your guys and kind of be present as a leader?
Yes, sir. Me personally, I had, some mental health issues, coming up, not in this job field, but when I'm playing football, dealing just with adversity. You know, injury after injury kind of took a toll on me to the point where, I didn't know pretty much what to do. And I got in a black hole, and I wasn't really cautious of my, mental health because, as man, you have to be strong. You don't really think about you know, the damage is really being done to you and your body. And, I had my times to where, I stuck to myself, depression, and really didn't know what to do. And it caused me to think, some bad thoughts every now and then. But I was able to have a supportive family behind me to where, in my mind, okay, I'm dealing with this now, but at the same time, if I do anything to hurt me, I'm not only just hurting me, I'm hurting my family also. I'm dealing with something temporary, which if I leave this, this earth or this world, I'm putting boundaries on them forever until, they pass away or whatnot. But I think that's very serious because, like I said, like most men look over because we have to be these strong guys. We have to be, the head, the alpha all the time to where we really don't sit down and actually talk. Um, Having a conversation with people will, man, it'll work wonders because the conversation I had helped me out tremendously during my tough and bad and dark times. But I will say, now that I know how to maintain and handle that, I want to help others, and it's a very serious thing. And I encourage anybody that do, have mental health issues and but probably really don't know if is it mental health or is it not? The best thing to do is, ask questions and seek the resources. And I know here at Miller Pipeline, I did learn that we have the particular resources to, have counseling or have, these sessions with different people to, get an understanding and feel for what you got going on in your life. And I feel like you should grasp that and get a handle on that because it can dictate and lead you around to bigger problems.
Uh, Speaking of being safe, we have a program here called What I Live For. It just reminds us what we do all this for, why we want to come home safely. So, Javian, what do you live for?
I live for my family. They're everything to me. They've been with me every step of the way. My mom, my dad, my sisters, and recently just got two nieces, baby nieces. They 1 years old. So being able to be there for them in, different times and actually having that, that drive to be better because at the end of the day, me personally, whenever my family call or anybody needs something, I want to be in that position to be able to be there. And like I said, when I wasn't working, when I was in between figuring stuff out, dealing with mental health, dealing with everything in my life, I knew I could turn to them and they'll have my back. Uh, Giving me a place to stay for all those years, sending me money for college and, just being there. And now I feel like, now I'm in this position to be there for them. That means everything for me. So just being with my family, man, being with my family. And I wasn't really able to be around them because I was so much traveling with ball and stuff all my life to the point now, like, I enjoy this. That's one thing. I come home, be with my family, chill, laugh, cook out, barbecue and everything like that. That makes me real, real happy.
That's awesome. Well, I like to finish every face in the field with some just rapid fire questions. I'll ask you. You just say the first thing that comes to your mind. Does that sound all right?
Yeah,
All right. New tools or day off?
new tools.
There we go. You got a day off today.
Yeah, I got
Nice. So why not throw some new tools in? Toughest assignment you had on the football field?
Ooh,
I was a bad host. I
right.
should have prefaced this. He was a defensive back at Ole Miss, and then he moved on and had a stint with the Green Bay Packers, correct?
Correct.
And then went and played in the Canadian Football League. So you have literally played at some of the highest levels. So my bad as a host, but toughest assignment on the football field.
My toughest assignment was pretty much playing man to man, back to back. Being in the SEC and playing at college football level at the highest. Playing man to man and having to run our way back, play the next play, have to come our way back, play the next play. You have to be in a lot of shape, man. You have to be in a lot of shape. So I wouldn't say it was a tough assignment, but it was very challenging coming back doing the same thing over and over. And that's one of the biggest things, playing man to man pretty much the whole game.
I actually revised that question. I was going to say, is it harder to defend a slot fade in man-to-man coverage, or is it harder to hand dig an entire bell hole?
Oh, I already go on that fade route in the slot.
Smart man. Dirt is a little unforgiving, huh?
Yeah, you don't know what you're getting with that dirt. It might be hard, might be soft.
Yeah. And then finally, what's your favorite core value and why?
My favorite core value is quality. I feel like quality ties into all four, and I like I like being the best I can be. So I feel like if I'm giving out quality, whether it's hand digging that riser hole, backfilling that bell hole, digging out that bell hole, or doing the work that's inside of the stuff that you're doing, I feel like if you do the best and give good quality work, um, customers will like you, homeowners will like you, and most importantly, the job, because I'm living up to that particular core value. So I feel like quality pays and ties its hand to all that. So
Awesome.
I pick.
That's great. Well, Javien, thank you so much for coming on Face in the Field. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay warm up there now.
Yeah, we'll try. He's Javien Hamilton.
Yes.
He's a foreman out of Mississippi. If you want to join Javien's team, be sure to get on MillerPipelineCareers.com. That's where we have all our job listings. Be sure to follow us on social media as well. We post updates about Miller Pipeline and everything happening in our industry there. This has been Face in the Field. We'll see you next month. Yeah. How difficult was it to sit down and make that plan after dedicating basically your whole life to this one craft, and now you have to find something else to dedicate your time to? How difficult was it to make that decision?
Um, I would say it was so much of a difficult. It was just more of a being set on the schedule. Pretty much my whole life, team meetings and practices and this and that. Pretty much having been told what to do every day, and just growing up and being in the real world now. I say that was the most challenging because I didn't have that schedule, that structural background to where, being told what to do, having meetings at a certain time and doing this, you just really have to, get up and go. It's really on you. You're a grown man now. So um I wouldn't say it was a challenge, but I would say, it was kind of hard to adjust to. But pretty much what I did, what helped me, I ended up just bringing all my football mindset and mentality to my workplace. I mean, you have to be on time. You have to do what you have to do. Just like in football, you mess up a play. I played corner, so you mess up a play that leads to touchdowns. And just like out here, you mess up anything, it can lead to, you know, you know, stew and blowing up or anything, people losing gas or anything like that. So I try to be tedious and careful about the same thing out here on the workplace. So pretty much I just moved everything on my knowledge of football and just put it in a Miller pipeline, and pipeline is general background.
Yeah. And the other thing too is we can all be resources for each other, right? I
Right.
mean, you had your family support system. Some people don't have that. And how
Mhm.
much do you prioritize being that for your team and just trying to keep them safe?
Oh man, I prioritize that every day because at the end of the day, everybody have to get home. One of my guys just had a newborn. The other one is pretty young and, just really growing up in the world to where, he's still learning everything. So I prioritize that very much so. And plus I have a family at home myself because don't nobody want to come out here and it be his last day coming out here. So I think, and that's one of our core values, safety. And I feel like if we really just press down and hark on safety, it's the key because we can't do nothing out here without the proper steps or have the safety of doing it. So the little things make up to the big things. That's one thing I try to hark at my guys, whether they might forget a comb outside the van or might forget a wheel chop. The little things count. So the more I hark on them with the little things, the big things will happen, fluently. They'll happen, without even questioning, thinking about it. So it's big to me.
Right.